Okay. So, hey guys, what's up? And welcome to the beginning of a shorter playthrough than my previous one, because this is the beginner's guide. Like most games that I've played previously, I have seen someone else play it, and this time it's Dylan, 8-Bit Dylan, back when he was still 8-Bit Homo. I watched him live stream this game and I absolutely loved it, and so I got it. I've played it myself since, but I don't remember a heck of a lot about it, so this should be interesting. It's only like maybe an hour something long. It's not all that long, so it'll definitely be a lot shorter than the Walking Dead one. I was supposed to record a Minecraft video because I put a poll up on Twitter and most people wanted Minecraft, but none of my friends were available and I'm not very good at recording Minecraft videos by myself. So this is what I went with. The two options that came second were a new playthrough or a cover. And I just tried recording covers and my voice sounded crap in all of them. So I'm like, I'm not subjecting people to that, so we'll play the beginner's guide. So yes, let's do that. Yes, audio is on. We're all good. Basic controls. I don't have my mouse at the moment. I'm just using my touchpad. That's fine. Shouldn't matter too much. It has to be playable. What happened to that? Something doesn't add up here. Okay. Right, isn't this so I can get rid of it? Okay. Okay.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if they're not doing anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played.
I like that one. In a world full of notes, one man will read all of them. This summer,
but it's ironic, isn't it? That in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know him better and actually kind of connect with him. And I have to be honest with you, this idea is really seductive to me. That I could just play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much, is because it felt like they let me have that connection. I felt as though he was inviting me personally into his world. And then I feel less lonely too.
Yes. Some of these things are great. I just like seeing. So many of these things. Oh, that's a whole other thing. Oh well. Why? Okay. These are all so weird. It's like every person on a YouTuber's live stream ever. Okay. That would be cool. Jesus. Yes, it is a new room. What chimes? Okay. That's an actual drop. Shave something. The painting is cool. Jesus. These are getting very, very strange. Oh. I've read a lot of notes. Which one? See, some of these things are kinda creepy. You can't? Oh, you can't. Is that whispering? I swear I hear whispering. There are whispers. Never. A person loves that. It does. This is true. Okay. You beat the game, huh?
At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle means.
Okay.
Each of these games represents an idea that was on Coda's mind at the time that he was making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter of his life before moving on to the next one.
The whispers are louder. Jesus. The spiraling nonsense.
In each of his games, after exploring a theme that, he might find difficult,
creepy.
Coda can then place this puzzle that he knows has a reliable solution, he understands exactly how it works, and so it gives him a simple mechanism for moving on.
Ah, the whispers.
And because there's this dark area between the doors, a space between spaces, before you move on, you get to pause. Just for a moment, a few seconds to reflect on and let go of the events that led you here. To step back and connect the pieces together. To grasp at that elusive bigger picture.
Jesus. Okay. May to June. Okay. So many typewriter sounds.
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
Okay.
See, like, this is it. The whole game. And there's nothing that's particularly interesting about it. You just walk to the end of a hallway. Except, for some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison that has all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Okay. Hey, there's stuff missing. What furniture ought to go in the center of the room? How about a TV with surround sound? A refrigerator? Put a giant hole in the ground. Put a giant hole in the ground. That's not a hole. That's a table. Okay, now what about along the wall of the room? Tin stoves lined up along the wall. That's a couch. And 2 couches. Light up the room a bit. Two. Just a lamp. We have a table. Tables were invented in 1935. Oh. Ew.
There's a bit more to this one, but still, it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
That's fine. Who cares? It's weird. It's cool.
So, okay, he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
Okay. Walking forward. To escape any prison environment. Follow the instructions carefully. Okay. Click on the table. Clicked on the table. Photo frame and turn it slightly. This. Turn the floor lamp in this room off, then turn it back on. Now go to the left side of the sofa. Move it over a little. Touch the shelves. Shelves. Ah, here. Turn this to start and you shall be taken to your prison. I don't remember anything.
And of course, now the table's gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
That's lovely.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well. And then a version where the inside of the prison is the outside and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen of them. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this, to see a person basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop, that particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Okay. There's the lamppost again. Okay. Hello? Who is this? Hey, it's me. I'm you. From after you escaped the prison. You're me? So you were trapped in this prison too? Yes, I was in the furniture maze.
It's a
I was in the
conversation.
escape tutorial.
And so this is what Coda
prison.
wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from
That's
someone
okay.
who knows.
Oh, I'm so
But
glad
the
to
irony
know
is
that I
that
get
even
out
in this
eventually.
scenario, you're still talking to
What's it
yourself.
like to escape?
You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
Why? Was there anything about it that you felt good about? Being here sucks. I do that too, I guess. But is that just how I'm going to be forever? I'd really like to change that. Wait, if you're me, then did you get a call from another version of you where you were trapped? And can you tell me how to get out? Maybe I can come find you. What do I have to do? What? That will free me? How does that work? Sincere about what? That's exactly what you need to figure out in order to escape.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay. Wouldn't that be nice?
August 2009. Oliver. This is taking a while to load. There you go.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about talking to someone other than himself? To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the two doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Oh, but my goodness, I'm glad as all heck that you showed up. Though I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself, and thought I might be having to clean this entire house all by myself.
You'll notice
and
that
right
the
miserable
quality
that
of
would
the
have
art
been.
is a step up from previous games,
Everyone knows
including
Lance
this
and
new and
Hands
improved chat system, which he started
Yes.
using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Don't you worry now. We'll be through this mess in no time. I promise you'll wish there was more. Why don't I finish here? In the meantime, could you please clear the table? Much nicer. That's the table I wanted to see. Now would you please run into the bedroom and make the bed? Oh. While you're in there, why don't you straighten out the rug a bit? All the little details matter. Well, I don't enjoy it so much as I need it. While I'm working, I feel a kind of calm that rests in the pit of my ribcage. My soul just can't be soothed any other way, it seems, which I guess is about all that matters. Oh, that and a tidy couch. Would you straighten the pillows on the sofa a bit there? Oh dear, it looks like someone spilt a drink over by the couch. Maybe mop up as long as you're there. No, here. I feel compelled to share an incredibly cheesy personal insight. You okay with that? Yeah, I'll try to get by. No. No, it was stupid, sorry. Never mind. Hey, these dishes need to be washed. Why don't you come do that? Last I checked, the tub needed a cleaning. How about you scrub it down as best you can? No need to be perfect, we're all just human. Are there still books scattered on the floor of the bedroom? If so, would you put them back on the shelf? Perfect. Now then, how about you come and clear these dishes off the table?
After the intense set of prison games, this house cleaning level almost feels like cleansing. It's the moment after a particularly difficult or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful.
Whatever work you do, you have to absolutely own it, otherwise it owns you. So why don't we be with the task at hand and leave the future chores to future you?
Of all of his work, actually, this was the only one that he called me up to ask me to come over and look at it. This was during a period of a few months where he was like grossly happy all the time, just walked around with a constant smile on his face.
Pressing E was to smooth out the rug in the bedroom, believe it or not. Trust me on this one. It looks like the tub has gotten rather dirty. Would you mind tidying it up a bit? Earlier when I said I had a really cheesy thought, I was going to say that it occurs to me that one's house is a lot like one's soul. You take care of it, and it takes care of you. Don't know why I felt so weird about saying that. Anyway, so, housekeeping. Let's keep doing this. Books. Would you please clean up the books? Thanks. Oh goodness, those pillows over on the couch are a real mess.
I'm glad he found some peace.
Could you go over and straighten them up? Can't have these folks coming home to a messy couch. Question. Do you enjoy this?
Of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long. You just can't. You have to keep moving. It's how you stay alive. Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.